If you're thinking about protecting your wealth in Dubai, the first step isn't about choosing a company type or a free zone. It's understanding what you're protecting yourself from. In today's world, that means lawsuits, banking issues, family disputes, and compliance risks. So, in this video, we'll explain how a Dubai holding company works, why it adds a layer of protection, and how it fits into a proper wealth structure. Whether you run a business, own a real estate, or want to pass on assets to your family, this is one of the most important tools that you should know about. Before we start, my name is Shiraz Waheed and I'm the founder at Lepidus Wealth, where we help clients and families protect their assets using a range of tools including trust, foundations, wills, and offshore structures. So if you own a business or real estate, don't wait until a legal or health crisis to start thinking about protecting what you have built. Instead, request your free and customized asset protection plan by clicking the link below. You can then implement it step by step as your journey progresses. Let's start with what a holding company actually is. In simple terms, it's a company that owns other companies or assets, but doesn't directly carry out any business operations. It holds equity, property, or intellectual property and may receive income from dividends, rent, or royalties. The reason this matters is that holding companies are inherently more insulated because they don't trade, they don't incur the same risks. If a trading subsidiary gets sued, the holding company is usually protected. This separation of ownership and activities create a defensive moat that can be critical for wealth preservation. In Dubai, a holding company can be set up in several jurisdictions. But the two most structured and internationally respected options are DIFC and ADGM. Both are English common law jurisdictions with their own courts, regulatory frameworks, and strong reputation with the banks. And that's the key point. When you are building an asset protection structure, it's not enough for it to be legally sound, it has to be bankable. And the perception of compliance, transparency, and legal robustness matters deeply to private banks, trustees, and international tax authorities. Now, here is where the protection really starts to build. A Dubai holding company can own shares in an operating company. It can hold investment properties. It can even own intellectual property, licensing it out to the subsidiaries. The moment you separate ownership from operations, you create a legal buffer. This means that if your trading company faces a lawsuit, assets that are held by the parent company are not automatically at risk. That structure also allows you for better asset allocation and internal controls. There is also a privacy angle. In jurisdictions like DIFC, shareholders' register are not public. That means your name doesn't appear in any public facing company records. You can also use the foundation to own the shares of the holding company, further removing yourself from the chain of ownership while retaining control. That combination of a foundation owning a holding company that then owns the operating companies is one of the strongest structure for asset protection in Dubai. It balances transparency with discretion and control with separation. Another benefit is succession planning. A holding company allows you to plan your legacy without exposing individual assets to probate or family disputes and long court processes. You can control the ownership structure, voting rights, and even appoint protectors or advisors through a foundation layer. This is especially useful for clients from regions where inheritance laws are rigid or unclear. With a properly structured holding company, you define who gets what and when. You can define the distributions, set conditions, and protect beneficiaries from external claims or poor decision making. Many clients ask whether holding companies reduce taxes. In Dubai, there is no tax on dividends or capital gains at the holding company level. And with careful planning, you can manage distributions to family members or offshore entities in a way that optimizes their own tax situations. But keep in mind the true benefit isn't tax reduction, it's risk reduction. In a world where tax scrutiny is increasing, the ability to show a clear, commercially justified holding structure is more valuable than ever. And of course, there are certain limitations. A holding company in Dubai is not a magic shield. If you combine your personal and corporate assets, or if someone commits fraud, or if you don't follow proper governance, courts can pierce the corporate veil. Also, while DIFC and ADGM are internationally respected, some high risk jurisdictions may still scrutinize transfers from any foreign entity. So it's not just about setting up a structure, it's about managing it properly. That includes keeping minutes, maintaining substance, and filing accurate records and ensuring that the structure reflects commercial reality. You also need to consider cost. DIFC and ADGM are premium jurisdictions. Incorporation fee, registered agent services, legal opinions, compliance reports, and annual renewals all add up. But for clients with significant assets or complex portfolios, the value far outweighs the cost. You're not just buying a company, you're buying predictability, control, and peace of mind. And more importantly, you're creating a system that can adapt and scale as your global footprint expands. So, who should be using a holding company in Dubai? If you own multiple businesses across jurisdictions, or if you have intellectual property you want to isolate, or if you hold real estate in your personal name, as well as if you're preparing to pass on wealth to the next generation, a holding company is not optional. It's a foundational thing to do. It helps simplify reporting, streamline ownership, and protect against external shocks or internal disputes. If you are planning to set one up, you can start by identifying what you want to protect. Then layer your structure around that goal. Think about where the risk is coming from. Is it customers, regulators, ex partners, or banks? Then separate those risk facing activities from the core asset that you want to safeguard. That's where the real value lies. If done correctly, the structure you build today can serve you, your family, and your business for decades to come. As I mentioned earlier, if you own a business or real estate, don't wait for legal or health crisis to start thinking about protecting your wealth. Many people think asset protection is only for ultra wealthy. But the reality is that some of these solutions cost as much as setting up a free zone company in Dubai. If you want to secure what you have built and ensure your legacy, you can request your free and customized asset protection plan by clicking the link in the description below. And if you're serious about building long-term financial security, you should really check out my next video right here.